the big headline, and definitely market are too in the cheerful mood. But the big question is that given the verdict and given the given the Lok Sabha elections in the times ahead, which are the sectors that you need to be watching out for? What does it mean for the market? On that, we have the editor's take. Nikunj Dalmia, managing editor, ET Now, talks about how BJP's sweeping victory will impact the market. Let's revisit his take.
In the run-up to the election, whether it is 2019, 2014 or even beyond that, markets, they tend to rally. I think that is something which is on our side, and that is how markets have moved prior to the election, 2019, 2024, 2019. So like they say that history may not repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes, and looks like this year, this time it's no different. But the difference what may actually happen post the state election verdict is, first let's understand what it means. It clearly means that this is an endorsement by the voter for continuity, and it is also an endorsement for what the A, continuity in states where BJP has come back to power, and B, endorsement by the voter in states where BJP manifesto in a sense has gone down very well. So from a real voter standpoint, this is just an endorsement of the policy of the current administration, even at the state level. Now, from a market standpoint, well, the general view post the exit poll on Friday was that it would not be a hat trick for BJP. At best, it could be a two out of 4 states. But since it's a hat trick, that is something which markets now would like to start pricing in. Now, in the run-up to the state election also, irrespective of the state election, markets had hit an all-time high. And that was nothing to do with the local cues. It was always a global rally, which in a sense was at play at least in the month of November. Starting from US equities to the kind of rally we've seen in Bitcoin, the comeback in gold and silver. So it was a rising tide phenomenon, which in a sense has been at play from last 4 to 5 weeks. Now, are we likely to differentiate ourselves? And I think we will differentiate ourselves because of the local tailwind and post the state election. So are we in for a bout of outperformance at a time when globally as it is, markets are looking strong? So it really could be a twin engine benefit. A, the market, A, globally there is a strong tailwind. B, locally there is a propeller effect which would kick in. So I think it's going to be a twin gain for the market per se. What you may actually see, Aisha, is that you may see decisive move coming into large cap stocks.
All right, so that's the view coming in from ET Now, and ET Now Swadesh's managing editor Nikunj Dalmia. But let's hear out Swaminathan Iyer, who's the consulting editor at ET Now, talk about the impact of BJP's win in the 3 states, and also he's emphasized what does this indicate for the global investors.
Global investors are not particularly interested in the state elections. They look at the larger picture. I think they've already assumed that Mr. Modi is going to win in 2024. This is some confirmation of what they were going to do, but I don't think it changes their view that Modi is going to win in 2024. And whether he wins by another 10 votes or another 10 less votes, I don't think is the key. But yes, the markets like continuity. Particularly, I think they would have been worried if there was a Congress sweep. Then I think something like the Adani shares might have had a question mark against them because of certain fears. I would certainly expect significant flows to be coming in 2024. However, as far as FDI is concerned, we still don't see a huge inflow. I don't think the foreign investors are that keen on PLI.
But is this a time to shift 15 to 20% of your allocation from the mid and small cap to the large caps? Let's listen into what Sanjeev Bhasin, director at IIFL Securities, and market experts like Naresh Mirani and Kunal Bothra had to say on this.
No, I would continue to remain stock specific and not go towards large caps. Keep continuing the same allocation as you were say yesterday.
Well, yeah, I think it makes sense to shift from mid caps and small caps towards large caps. That's what I would believe that the next leg of beta as well as price performance could be.
Not 15, 20, 25 to 30%. 100%. Take money off the table. There is room on the upside in Kotak Bank and the whole banking scenario on the communication side and on the large cap. There is profit booking. It will come in mid caps because there is been froth over there, and it's always good to leave something on the table. Let the next person make money. If you have made good money, that's the time you should encash your profit. I am very, very confident on the large caps, and I think their underperformance will now come to the shelf. Plus, if you have large inflows from foreigners, it will be always on the index stocks firstly.
All right, so that's the view coming in from market experts as well, and as to what should you do and how should you allocate your funds when it comes to investing in the equity markets. And most of them have actually advised the fact that now you should shift from the broader markets onto large cap territory. In fact, we also spoke to Saurav Mukherjee, who also said that as a domestic investor, he'd rather actually put his money now into the large caps and move out of the broader markets. But do our experts concur with it? Yes, we've heard Kunal Bothra's views, but let's bring on board Mr. Chokkalingam as well and Kunal as well. Very good morning, both of you, both of gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on Buy Now Sell Now. Mr. Chokkalingam, let me come to you. We've heard actually 3 of the voices out of 4 who've actually said that it makes sense to actually shift your money now from the broader markets to the large caps right now. But do you think this is the only theme that will be at play, given the fact that we've seen spectacular results coming in for state elections, 3 out of 4 swept by the BJP. You've seen what the markets are doing. So now where do you think the focus will be? Which themes are likely to move? Because we've already seen the PSU rally play out, isn't it?
Yes. To be very short, election results, all of us know it's a positive. And the global cues are positive. Oil price corrected. Of course, today it has gone up, but still it is down from 1 month high. And world over, everybody is convinced that interest rate cycle is now done. On domestic front, these election results have given boost. Now, coming back to the specific question of small and mid cap, I would like to say that never zero small and mid cap. One should talk about only tilting towards large cap or small and mid cap. Now, this is the time to tilt towards large cap and large mid cap, but one shouldn't zero it. I would say that at least even 30-35% of the equity asset class should be in small cap, and that is going to be the wealth creating story. And phenomenal wealth has been created from 2014. But certainly, time has come to be very, very cautious about the small cap. Absolute valuations are stretched. The relative valuation over index stocks like Sensex Nifty, that is also stretched. There are micro companies which have got a governance issue, inferior quality of the balance sheet. They are trading at abnormal valuation. Other than Sensex Nifty, if you look at the trailing PE or 1 year forward PE, there's a lot of scope for improvement. So therefore, I would say that for a conservative investor, 30% in the small and mid cap quality stocks. The balance money should be put in large mid cap and large caps like Sensex and Nifty. To be very precise, the one should play on theme like automobile. If oil price falls, tire companies and logistic companies like Blue Dart. If oil price zooms, then one should buy companies like Oil India, and then automobile, and then banking will be still a great play. The credit growth is still around 15%. Then individual stocks like Reliance Industry, Zydus Life Sciences. These are our strong recommendation. The next bull run will happen in these large cap stocks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chokkalingam, for telling us how the portfolio allocation could be at this point in time, and the stock and the sectors that you like continues to be bullish on the banking and the automobile space. But Kunal, any sector that is on your radar, given the state elections verdict and the assembly elections in the times ahead, any theme that you feel that could be great to watch out for? Any investment ideas there?
So, good morning first of all. There are quite a few themes, and I think it makes a lot of sense to look out for the PSU basket even from current levels. Now, a classic example is what happened to PFC REC from the point when these stocks were, I think, 150-75 odd mark. From there, the move started off, and these stocks at 250 looked overbought, 300 also looked overbought, and now these stocks are perched almost at 375-400 odd levels for themselves. So that indicates that the momentum for these stocks is not short-lived, and what we are looking out for is possibly a major multi-year start of a major multi-year uptrend. I would believe that would be the case for many of the other PSU sectors individually, whether it's the likes of large cap names like Coal India, NTPC, ONGC, GAIL, or whether it's the mid cap front, something which I mentioned earlier. Even the PSU banking lot, I think, looks fairly attractive to me at current levels, and I believe strongly that many of the PSU banking stocks could as well as should perform exceptionally well going forward. So that's one pocket to look out for. And of course, the railway stocks, the defense theme fairly looks attractive. So many of the sectors which are looking attractive, but majorly if you look at the overall holistic basket, then it's PSUs which should probably try and shine and outperform.
All right, so Kunal is of the view that there is still scope for PSUs to shine brighter and actually outperform going ahead as well. But as we slip into a break, right now on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now, ET Now, Swadesh, in line with helping Indians rise with India, have partnered with Sundaram Mutual to launch Nivesh Day, a groundbreaking campaign to help viewers build their personal finance portfolios through regular and disciplined investing. Nivesh Day is being celebrated on the 5th of every month. So join ET Now, Swadesh and Sundaram Mutual to learn how you can build your financial future with an SIP in mutual funds.